So question one, let's see here. How do I make colors appear more alive instead of flat, more professional, blending modes? Okay, well there's a lot here in this question. The first thing I want to address is this idea of alive versus flat. To make a professional image, it's not necessarily a choice between making something seem more alive or vivid or dynamic versus flat or matted or that kind of thing. It's about choosing colors that are appropriate to the message that you're putting out. All images, all video, all these things are a form of communication, and if you want to have effective communication, you need to harmonize all the elements to tell the same story. You know, if we're doing graphics for like some kind of punk rock thing, we're of course not going to use colors that are found in Martha Stewart Living, unless we're doing it ironically, in which case the theme of the piece is irony, and then do whatever the hell you want. The idea that colors should be one thing or the other, you can erase that from your head right now. Colors should be appropriate to the message you're putting out. Another thing that makes colors better or worse for use is using too many of them and using too many of them that are close together. So you should at most, and this is just a rule of thumb, I'm not telling you you can only do this, but usually you want to stick to like 5 colors at the most. So think of it like 5 like main things that you're going to use, and then you can use of course shades and highlights of those, and it's not you're not pigeonholed into just like 5 colors to use, but that's the general rule, that you want to use 5 things that you'll have enough of a palette to work with, and then you'll just blend them and use them in that way. Now, how you generate these 5 things, there are a lot of like color rules you can use to generate them. And if you use something like Cooler from Adobe, or if you go to colorlovers.com and use people's already generated palettes, you can see that some of the themes there are things that are color harmonies with each other. They use like tritones. They use these sets that are already established mathematical rules for going between color values that the brain expects and will be pleasing to it. So you can use that to generate things. Another good way to look for color is look at like a photograph and you think, oh, the colors in this photograph are good. Well, just use the eyedropper to pull out little parts of that photograph that are good colors, and then you can use those. In terms of your blending mode question, what the blending modes do is they change the way the color values are interpreted. So for example, normal is just normal, these are the values. And then when you start using blending modes, it starts using math, multiplication, division, stuff like that to take those color values and interpret them in different ways compared to what's underneath them. Let's look at an example of some blending modes. I'm going to put up in front of me here a bunch of the same image, and they're all using different blending modes. And really, you should just be aware of what these blending modes are and how they can work. It's very difficult to describe them just because I don't have a list in front of me and I never remember. And whenever I want to just cycle through blending modes, I hold down Shift and then hit the plus key until I find something that I like. But in general, I actually don't stray far away from using normal all the time. And that's just because I'm really good at picking colors, because I've been doing this for a while. And a lot of that just comes with experience. A lot of it comes with working with color and working with different kinds of color and modes of color, and just getting a lot of experience with what looks good, what people are responding to, what are you responding to. If you want to take footage and make it more vivid, here's a tip: reduce the total number of colors and then just pump up whatever colors are still there. So there are a fewer number of colors for the eye to look at, but there are more vivid colors. So there's less, but they're more vivid. So hopefully that helps. And if you're ever in doubt, just apply a curves to your whole project and then tweak your colors from there. So just make like an S shape so that the blacks are darker, the highlights are brighter, and the rest in the middle stays about the same. So I'm Evan Abrams. Thank you for that Q&A question. There are going to be 4 more in this series brought to us from the Facebook page. If you're not active on the Facebook page, you should be. So go ahead and like that and get involved. I like to share videos that inspire me. Follow me on the Twitter at ECAbrams. You can ask me questions there if you want. And sometimes I'll answer them in less than 140 characters. Sometimes the answer is just yes or no. And subscribe to the channel. There's new tutorials here every week. This is just a Q&A that's going to be put up on Tuesdays, but new tutorials are on Saturdays. So if you're not familiar with the channel, wait till Saturday, and then I'll really impress you. with my beard growth. I'm Evan Abrams. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more questions answered in this series, and I'll see you around the internet.